have looked like a tiny purple lunchbox, but this system packed some serious challenges into it.
For your efforts, I promise a quick and merciful death.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're taking a look at our picks for the top 10 hardest GameCube games. For this list, we're looking at the most challenging and difficult games to ever be released on Nintendo's fourth home console. Keep in mind, we're only including games that present a legitimate challenge, not games that were broken or badly designed. Number 10, Resident Evil 0. This is one from the days when survival horror actually put the emphasis on survival. The early games in the series featured realistic difficulty levels that accurately simulated being dropped in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. Well, at least sort of, and this GameCube exclusive installment is no exception. While Zero attempted to make the challenge easier by allowing players to drop items at their will instead of placing them in item boxes like in other games, it still contained the time-honored challenge of its puzzles, like the now infamous battery puzzle. You might say that some of the tricks this game plays on you are pure evil.
Resident Evil.
Number 9, Viewtiful Joe. This game may ooze style, but thankfully Capcom didn't sacrifice the substance either. Joe was definitely teleported into a superhero movie, but the game he stars in takes more inspiration from the side-scrolling beat-em-ups of old, featuring a seemingly endless onslaught of enemies to fight and tight, precise combos to take them out with. If that wasn't enough, Joe has the ability to manipulate the speed and focus of the film he's in, a skill which is easy to learn but hard to master, especially considering the majority of the game's puzzles are based on this crucial skill. Number 8, Baten Kaitos Origins. This was an RPG released during the final months of a console's life that really wasn't known for its RPG selection, so we wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you hadn't played this. Those of you who have, though, know how immensely skilled you have to be if you want to master the complicated card-based battle system. Once you manage that, make sure not to let your guard down against enemies that can end your life in only a couple of hits, as well as some of the hardest boss fights you'll find on the system. The best way to survive the mystical world of this game? Patience and skill.
Sorry about that.
Number 7, Super Monkey Ball 2. Sega's sublime GameCube launch title showed that even though a game may have a cute, unassuming premise, it can still be a major challenge for seasoned players. The sequel upped the ante, increasing the number of stages up to 100, and adding new landscape-altering features like conveyor belts, teleporters, and switches, all of which have a chance of sending you flying off the already stress-inducing levels. The game also offers rewards if you're able to collect every banana on the stage, a feat that's easier said than done, considering how some of the places they put these things require your spherical monkey to often defy gravity. Number 6, Metroid Prime 2, Echoes. How do you top one of the most celebrated first-person adventures of all time? Already a challenging gaming experience in its own right. Well, one way is to add a lot of backtracking. Developer Retro Studios set out to make their sequel more challenging than its predecessor now that players were familiar with the immersive world. Not only does the game feature brutal boss characters like Emperor Ing and Dark Samus, but the series' trademark item hunting mechanics were taken to extreme levels this time around. Not only that, but the game is split between light and dark worlds, and whenever you're in the dark world, the atmosphere constantly drains your health. Bummer. Number 5, Alien Hominid. Originally released as a Flash game on the website Newgrounds in 2002, this old-school style shooter made it to the GameCube a couple of years later without losing any of its trademark difficulty. While the art style and basic gameplay make the experience seem deceptively simple, The endless onslaught of enemies, both human and extraterrestrial, that adapt to the way you play the game will leave you wondering why you ever thought a tiny alien can take on this many bad guys. This is another great example of a game that's easy to learn, but hard to master. Number 4, Star Wars Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron 2. If there's any game that accurately represents the tension and threat of fighting an oppressive empire, it's definitely this one. Factor 5's amazing Star Wars space combat game isn't the most hardcore of experiences, but some missions are very easy to fail, especially when you've got to throw yourself up against Star Destroyers. The game offers bronze, silver, and gold medals for players who meet certain requirements in every stage, but the goals are so difficult that you would have to be really strong with the Force if you want the satisfaction of fully beating this game.
1 down, 2 to go.
Number 3, Mega Man Network Transmission. We get that Mega Man games have a reputation to uphold when it comes to challenge, but this is just ridiculous. Part of the Battle Network sub-series that originated on the Game Boy Advance, this game ditched the RPG gameplay of its handheld counterpart, opting to be a classically hard platformer in the vein of the NES original. The challenging platforming would have been hard enough, but the game also integrates the battle chips of the GBA games, ensuring the only real chance of survival against these incredibly tough enemies are these sparsely available resources. Mega difficult doesn't even begin to describe how punishing this is. Number 2, Ikaruga. We're losing our minds just thinking about this one. A shoot 'em up from Japanese developer Treasure. This maddeningly intense game is based around one mechanic, changing the quote, polarity of your ship between a series of colors in order to absorb enemy fire. For example, if your ship's polarity is black, you can absorb black bullets. If your ship is white, you can absorb white bullets. This is a simple, challenging concept taken to its absolute extreme by Treasure. Ikaruga features a constant barrage of enemy fire, forcing you to switch polarities every other second, and it's on a vertically scrolling screen that's scaled down to a fraction of the size of a normal one. We hope you like punishment. Before we reveal our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1, F-Zero GX. If this is the level of difficulty that piloting futuristic racing machines is going to be like, then we're probably going to be just fine sticking to driving regular cars for the time being. Unanimously considered to be one of the best racing games on the system, GX also comes with an almost hilariously steep learning curve in order to master the twisty tracks and precise handling of its vehicles. Because of the game's intense speed, it's very difficult to maintain your boost and drift without crashing into walls or worse, falling off the track.
Of course! Retard!
Even the first few missions of the story mode are really tough to beat, so good luck.
30th place.
Do you agree with our list?
Hey, where do you think you're taking me? Wait!
What Gamecube game gave you the hardest time? For more challenging top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
I've been looking forward to this forever.
Well, I've been looking forward to this for a long time, too.